Hello, good afternoon or good evening. It is 6:30 here or 6:37 and welcome for anyone who's new. My name is Corrie Thorne. I am the founder and creator of More Than Existing, psychic medium, modern day mystic, author, creator, and the author of my amazing books, More Than Existing and Beyond the Reflection, and my now out Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. So, I want to come in today to talk a little bit about the energy update and about what's happening, and to just pull a general card. And so it will be a shorter video, but we are here, and I am trying to schedule another trio of myself and Lisa Richard and Michelle Gibson. And so I want to work on that. So if you were in our last live video where we had all three of us and we stayed in for like over 2 hours and we did a bunch of card readings from the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, we hope to be able to do that again soon. I just got to get the girls together now and we'll arrange something and we'll set up another one. So, but for tonight, you get me. And so it is just me here this evening, and I'm just watching to see. And hello, Carlene. And so, yeah, I am on YouTube. I can see that one. I hope I'm on Facebook as well. Yes, I am on Facebook. I can see it. So I'm just letting a few people get into the room, and to be here. And of course, me and my unplanned visits. I kind of do these when I have time. I have a lot going on right now. And yeah, and so my 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 happiness and my proud moment is the arrival of these cards, the Everyday Goddess. And I love seeing the pictures and stuff coming in of people who are receiving their cards. You can order my cards directly on my website. Go to corriethorne.com and you can get the cards directly there. You can even order a trio pack where you can get signed a copy of both books and the oracle cards. That's also available on the website as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that are coming up before I talk about the energy. The beginning of August the 7th and 8th, I have an online class, which is going to be a 2-evening class, and it is recorded if you can't make it to the live, and it will be for the Lionsgate energy. And so before the class starts, I will post another video in the dashboard within the school to go with the Lionsgate. So you will get a first video before the live that will be available probably the 1st or 2nd of August. And that will be an opening to the Lionsgate class that I'll be doing. I do host this every year for the last few years. I've done a Lionsgate activation. And that brings us into a new energy, through a new portal, a shift within our energy. And we have a lot of stuff that's really shifting, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But the Lionsgate class is on the website. It's also on mteacademy.ca, so you can get signed up for that if you want to take part in that class as well. I think there's a couple payment options too, or the one-time payment. But it's 2 evenings. It's 2 90-minute classes. It's like a workshop with me. And it is the Lionsgate activation. And that's going to be on, I think it's August the 7th and 8th. And I'll have some announcements to make around that time of things that are happening in my own life as well. So I hope to see you there. And then in September, More Than Existing starts again. So the More Than Existing program is starting again. We just released the event page for that as well. You can find out all the information, see all the options, and everything else that goes with the program. So if you go to the event page on Facebook or you go to my website, you can see all the little details of More Than Existing. I can't wait to teach More Than Existing again in September. It'll be 2 evenings. It is also recorded, 2 evenings a week for 4 months in the level 1. And More Than Existing is a lightworker certification program of where you start with you first. There is 4 levels in total, but it starts with you, and that starts again in September. So that's what we have coming up right now. So now that we have some energy in here, I'll speak about what we have happening. Hello, Cherry. So good to see you. And Candace says, Hi, Corey. Holy cow. It's been a rough couple of days. What's going on? I'm going to talk about it. There is some friction, and as endings are happening, there always has to be some, like, as old energy is going, there has to be a little bit of friction before new energy comes in. We've also had a shift. So we just went through the new moon in Cancer, and then we had a double whammy around the new moon that was like moon and sun in Cancer, which is all emotions, right? It both were in water signs. And then we had a shift in the nodes. So we had the North Node going into Aries. We have the South Node going into Libra, which now brings us into a whole new energy. And it's great opportunities comes with this shift that's happening. And it's there for like till I think it's like sometime in 2024. Now, I don't give you all the details on this because I'm not an astrologer yet. I channel the energy of it. And so those things are happening right now, but we also are in the midst of that Lionsgate energy. And so there is a lot of things that's happened, but we also got some big ass stuff going on where I just feel like there's like all of these planets are like kind of clustering or moving. We have Venus now gone into retrograde. I believe that happened already. I believe that's just starting or about to start. Yeah. And so there's no wonder you are crying like an emotional wreck. So if you are influenced by the movement of the planets, by the moon cycles, by any of those things, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel that energy. And that's such a truth. So we do have all of this. Now, I am picking up, I don't know what's coming, but it's like this storm of energy. So I don't know if we have some solar flares happening or if we have something happening in the resonant sound, like in the Earth's energy. But I'm getting like some real big, like kind of quake kind of energies again. I know we've had lots of storms and we have a lot of extreme heat happening throughout the world. We have a lot. I just feel like there's an opening. Like I just see like either like a crack in the foundation of Earth, right? Like I just see something like breaking open, and I see it coming from up above and down below. So I feel extreme storms and then something within the Earth's energy itself. And I feel like there's like this like intensity, this increased energy. Now, that doesn't mean it's all bad. It means there could be some really good things that are also coming with this. But I am feeling this. So and I feel like it's like, don't be surprised around those that last few weeks around there that we hear of, just more things that are in extremes. But this is also a breakdown. Like we're seeing a lot of that old world ending kind of things. We're seeing a lot of truth being revealed. I was working with a glue gun. I still got like glue on my nails. Sorry. I'm trying to remove it. I'm like, that doesn't look pretty. And so we have like revealing. There's a lot of revealing. The veils are falling down around a lot of things. And when Lionsgate energy on the 8-8 comes in, that kind of opens up a whole new kind of experience. So what we have just ended is whatever you were doing, say 18 years ago. It's the end of like the 18-year cycle of things that were happening. And so it's the end of like an 18-year cycle. And now we're moving in to a new cycle. So it's like 18 and 7 is what I've kind of been seeing. And so also whatever's been happening like 7 years ago. And so Brenda, yeah, Brenda, wink, wink, glue gun. I've got the glue gun going everywhere, Brenda. And so we do. And so you also can see like what you didn't think was possible, what you didn't think was happening. A lot of surprise energies coming in as well. Lisa, my mom's sister passed away last night. Of course, I wonder if my mom met her. I was weeping that I didn't ask my aunt to tell my mom I miss her and love her. Well, Lisa, you get the opportunity to tell your mom every day because your mom is right by you, always. And yeah, and she did meet her. They are together. They are together. I don't know what they're tied to, like a floral patterns or like wavy patterns, almost like seeing, when you put uh, when you put color in water and you can swirl it around and move it. All of a sudden, Lisa, when I seen your comment, I just seen that like patterns moving in water is what it looks like to me, like swirlies and flowers, like roses or something. And I just seen that moving around. Um, and yeah, um, and so she's definitely there was a. I feel like it was an easy transition, like easy transition, move met by mom, definitely, definitely. So I don't know what that is. They both became artists in late in life. Ah, okay. And that's exact that makes so much sense because I just see like painting the world beautiful. Like I just see them like instantly they went into like these designs and so it's like it's instant for them. That's what it feels like. They just naturally just yeah, they're painting a beautiful picture for you or they're painting something and they're just showing you that. And so they're doing that and there is just so much kind of a love in the gathering that's there. And you never have to worry. Your mother knows how much you love her. Never have to worry. Trust in that. So I hope that helps you some way. So I'm going to use the cards today to work through the energy. And so I'm going to give a 3-card general reading and just see what we got coming up in the energy. And of course, I am using my new deck of the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, which you can purchase directly on my website. And the book is actually a big book. It's this size. You're so welcome, Lisa. And so this is the book, and it's got big print. And it's really good to be using with your journaling. It's good for beginners. It's perfect for professionals that work in the industry that can also use the cards. It is about inspiration, attitude from shadow to truth. They're not I don't work them from the place of using the dark energy. I use them from working from, and dark is not bad, from our shadow. I use them from working from the light and being inspired to be able to do the healing. So they have inspiration, they have reverse, and they also have a healing in them as well. And so, let's just see. And I'm not choosing individual people right now. And, as a general rule, I'm answering some random questions that I see come up. But, and I do work with living energies as well. I'm not doing a person. I'm not choosing anyone's name right now to pull. I am going to work with the energy because we have a lot of people that are really struggling in this energy right now. And so I do work with living energy. I work with past energy because we all are spirit. So yes, I do. You're listening on the road. Where are you two going? Where are you two heading off to? Okay. Let's see. Hello, everyone who is joining in. I'm in the energy. I'm channeling, so it's hard for me to focus over here and over there. And so I have the Seraphim of Pain, and this is Jules. And so as you can see, Jules is also holding some of the energy centers, right? So where we hold our pain within our body, somatic body healing, right? And so when we work with card number 42 and Jules, is that so we're working from mind. The first card I'm pulling because I'm doing mind, body, soul. And so this card speaks of, surrendering over what's too big for us. And sometimes the things we try to control is trying to bring things into our life or trying to figure out, how do I make it work? How do I do it? How do I overcome this? What if it's not about you trying to figure out how to overcome it, but how you allow it to be, how you allow the healing, how you allow the space within you for things to work through you for you, to allow the divine to surrender over is to take it from our hearts, from our belief system that we have to struggle through doing something and trying to keep working on something instead of just saying it's too big for me. and I'm going to give this over to the divine, give it to my guardians, give it to my angels, give it to my guides, whatever it may be, give it to God. And by that, it doesn't mean we forget it, but we allow space within ourselves for things to be worked through for us, which brings us inspiration. It brings us wisdom. It's channeling in to the wisdom of the greater consciousness that is not connected and tied to the knowledge. So your past experiences, your past moments that you've experienced, all of those things, and the what you've been given for advice before, it will all still be there. But what if the aha just comes from sitting in the stillness and the silence, by stop being so actively trying to force something through your life, or trying to force yourself to forget something or to move on for something, or always trying to keep yourself busy instead of not letting yourself feel. And there's such a beauty in being able to feel and trusting the process of the divine working through us and for us, that all of a sudden just something, happens for us, and something just inspires us to get up, to move, to make a change, to whatever it is. Or that we just all of a sudden realize, I'm no longer thinking about that. And why am I not thinking about that? Because I'm over here doing something more. I'm over here being active in another area of my life, and this is not consuming me. So sitting in worry, in always worrying, keeps us from, it blocks out the energy of being able to invite in that divine inspiration that inspires us. And so fear, anyone hear that loud crow just having a meltdown? So false evidence appearing real. That is, and so that's not being afraid, that's being motivated by the fear of the past. And so from our mind, is that our mind can be the one that stops and is the obstacle that keeps us in the place of trying to be in control. But if we allow ourselves to be guided, to allow ourselves to step into grace, allow ourselves to be guided by grace, allow ourselves to give to the divine, give to our loved ones, they can hold it all. They can hold it all. The angels can hold it all. They're not going to carry it inside of them. They're not going to absorb it. It's not like us taking on somebody else's pain. They don't take on somebody else's pain. This is about transmuting your hurt, your pains, your worry stories into something that comes back as love, as wisdom, as inspiration. And so these challenging times that you may be experiencing, maybe is saying to you that, you can't overcome them by trying to constantly push them away, but by allowing yourself to be present and to get out of the mind, and not to let the mind trap you, not let the mind to tell you the stories. Sometimes I have to say to myself, that's not true. That's a lie. It's like that little voice that'll say to you, oh, you know what? Maybe you're not good enough for that. Maybe you're too old for that. Maybe that's not for you. Oh, you know what? Maybe you're not ready for that. And I just look over to it and I just go, no, that's not true. That's the old brain. That's the ego trying to get you back to comfort. It's like, no, that would lead me down the path of more pain. It's lead me down the path of more suffering, more struggles, because if I follow that, I'm going to follow the old track. I don't know how to do this. I don't know which way to go, but there's going to be a way, and all I have to do is put one foot in front of the other and just move, and the plan will appear. The new thought will appear. The new direction will come. The inspiration will come. The wisdom will come, whatever it may be. And that's for us to really put that into practice within our lives through these transitions and changes and shifts that are happening. And so, that one is in crone energy. Now, moving into spirit, moving into body, into our physical body. Let's see what we have. Oh, too many cards to be a jumper. And sometimes hesitation can be a flag to pay attention to, or to ask more questions, to be curious. Use discernment and trust your gut. Okay, body. So we have the creator of worlds. This is the alchemist. And this is the enchanting alchemist. And she's also in crone. So both cards are coming in crone energy. It's coming in, you know what? If you on repeat again, if you keep doing this again, if you keep making these same mistakes, if you keep choosing the same thing, then you're going to get the same outcome. And that's kind of, it's like, what do you need to change? What do you need to stop doing? What story do you need to stop telling yourself? What bullshit story do you still have that has a hold on you? And it's like, and so because we're coming to the end of because that 18-year cycle, it's like whatever was happening 18 years ago, we finally have come full, you finally come full completion. But it's like, and so this enchanted alchemist is that we can turn anything into something new. So if we have something that is a negative in our life, we can turn it into a positive. It works with the alchemist, just keeps moving. It doesn't let itself get trapped. It doesn't let itself, we are the creator of our world. We're the creator of our thoughts. We're the co-creator. And we co-create with the divine, with the shadow. And I always keep saying this. And like when I feel myself wanting to kind of engage in like a battle of wits, or like an argumentative kind of energy or negative kind of energy, and I want to like prove myself or convince somebody, or I'm feeling in the physical body, I'm feeling the active, like being like I'm being triggered somehow, and you want to pass go and you want to defend it, and I hate being in trouble. I don't like being in trouble. And I could feel that rising up in me if someone raised their voice or something like that. And I want to respond to that. And now what I keep saying to myself is, don't dance with the shadow. Don't dance with the shadow. Don't dance with the shadows. Don't feed the fuel. Don't feed the fuel to the shadow self in yourself or in another. Don't cross go. And so the physical body is just saying, if there's something that is saying to you that something doesn't feel right to you, why wouldn't you question what doesn't feel right? Why do we keep stepping into that? And we question who are we going to ask that question to? A lot of times, who you should be asking, the enchanted alchemist speaks to the self that is not yet here. It is the self that we're here to become as we're traveling towards it. You're already there. So that part of you, that part of your future that's already existing over here, that is not existent but existing, it's like, okay, who do I need to be? What do I need to do? The ability to be able to question yourself and your motives. And if your motives is because you're still trying to satisfy what you call an unmet need, or the desire to just have somebody in your life, then you're doing something for all the wrong reasons, and you're unwilling to see the signs that are appearing. And so these are things that are within the body. This is a big eye opener. Thank you for bringing me back to where I need to be. I keep saying you are an earth angel. Thank you, Carlene. And I'm so glad this is an eye opener for you, because this is everywhere. You're not the only person. So many people are struggling through this right now. So Carlene says, been struggling between two worlds, unsure if they were connected, or one, a distraction. You just spoke and it came to me. Good. I need to do more of this, and what I need to do less, right? And so I always say some things are a temptation. They're like a carrot. It's like you're hungry for something and you see the dangling carrot, and it's like, oh, here's this one little scrawny little dangling carrot right in front of you. And you can have this little carrot and you're like, oh yeah, I'm so hungry for it, I'm going to take the carrot, instead of walking the rest of the way and just say, no, thanks. I'll leave the carrot for somebody else. I'm going to continue to walk my path. And I may still be hungry. I may be starving, but I'm going to have faith, and I'm going to trust, because I'm going to believe in me. And so the energy that's coming is saying it's time to be able to believe in you. And so the moment we transmute that, that sense of being able to to move from one thought into the next because it's right here, it's in front of my face, I can have it now, and say, you know what, I have patience. And so this week's channel message is a picture of a squirrel on top of the Buddha and how we're building that relationship of trust. But patience teaches us trust. And when we can step into the virtue of patience, and that's when we start to be able to transmute our our insecurities, our lack of trust, our not being able to trust, into being able to step into trust, stepping into learning trust. It's the same thing with love. How do you know what love is if you've never experienced loving relationships? How do you know love? So what are you chasing and why are you chasing it? You're chasing the unmet needs. So you're chasing something and you're expecting something and you're wanting something, but yet you don't know that experience. So if you build that healthy relationship with you and you step into that healthy relationship with you and you start to experience love by just saying, you know what, I don't have to just settle and I don't have to just do this and I don't have to accept this carrot in front of me. Yes, I can really see that I'm in, that I may have even some challenging times, some financial things, problems, or whatever it may be. But if I just jump, I'm going to end up right where I was again. Whereas if I take things and I really get to understand it for what it really is, it may be one word in front of what you keep repeating to yourself. It may be the one thing that always keeps you from being able to reach the divine purpose, the divine self, right? And so let's say, for example, um, like um, troubles. I'm always in trouble. So I'm going to use that one because I've been working on that word. It's like I fear being in trouble, but trouble seems to like, so like, let's say, for example, I'm going to expand this out for you. So imagine you saying, I always have financial troubles, but you fear being in trouble. So if you do that, so you fear trouble, but yet trouble is always following you. What are you always chasing? What are you always chasing? And the energy, the power that's coming with that word trouble is influencing and affecting so many other areas in your life. And so when we can erase the energy, and so Lisa Starr Francis is the word alchemist, it's what she does. And when you take the charge from that word, when you change the story and the narrative, and you heal that sense of whatever emotional response is coming up, and you heal that story and you see it for what it was, you can see you weren't always in trouble. You can see you weren't the trouble. You can see that all of the places of where someone else might have said, you're always a troublemaker, or you're always this, you're always that. Then you're always in that trying to chase something, and removing that, then letting yourself step into the archetype of the alchemist, that you can use this energy, you can use this experience and transmute it into something magical. Change that around. So I always say this, when you have a continual language that you start to recognize you're on repeat of and you use the same language, go into Google and find the opposite meaning. Find the opposite meaning and connect to the total opposite meaning of it. And then start to write this. So instead of trouble, write harmony. I am in harmony with all things in my life. My life is filled with blessings. I am a blessing. Anything, like anything. So I am in the sanctuary of the divine. I am a child of the divine. I am worthy. Like whatever is like the opposite, and kind of flip it to the opposite. So I hope that helps. And that's coming up in the alchemist card, and that's within our bodies, because it is our bodies. When we trigger that response and we react and we respond to it, then you're stepping into something before you realize it that you don't really want to be in, and a place you don't want to be in. And so that good advice? Good. Yes. And so brilliant. Yeah, exactly. I use all of these tools and all of these things, and I give people these tools to use, because it is about building new pathways and creating new pathways. and to be able to exist from being able to trust the heart brain and the gut brain and the other brains that you have within you. And that's, this brain don't hold your memories, and this brain doesn't make your thoughts for you. It doesn't make you do the things you're doing. It is the emotional response that you have. It is the nervous system being activated and triggered, and then you having memories, and then you being responding to something. So there's so many, you're a system. So you have to take out the bugs. You have to totally take out what's outdated, no longer working, and you have to rebuild a new system. Right? The word switcheroo. I use it all the time. I use it in my writing. And if I find myself constantly using a word, and then I'm like, you know what? Why am I on repeat to that word? I need to find another word. And this came from me when I start to lose, when I had that delay, because I have a delay in what my mind is thinking and the language I want to use. And then the words I want to use, which are probably sometimes bigger words or words that are not a repeat, then I literally would be frustrated because I'm like, that's not really what I wanted to express it in a different way. I wanted to find a more beautiful way to express that. But because I have a delay, and sometimes the words that I used to be able to use in my vocabulary don't come out. So now I literally do a switcheroo, especially in my writing. I'm saying, let me look up the word that I really want to use to express it. And because the word and the expression of it will be like painting a whole different, it'd be like using a different color in a picture, in a painting, right? So I find the language now that I want to use, and that my delay can't communicate. And I've learned to make that into something that makes what would have been a challenge, what would have been like, it used to frustrate me, and it used to disable me in so many ways, because I wouldn't speak. I would stop, and I'm like, I'm going to turn this into something powerful, and I'm going to use this to my advantage. So all of those things gave me the opportunity to not to chase down, but to be a magnet towards new opportunities coming in, and how I would work and how I would show up. And yeah, it's just amazing what it will do for you. And I know that some wrong cards. I know that sometimes may sound boring, but that's what we got. Those things are powerful, and they're powerful tools. We're like, oh yeah, try it. Okay. So our third card is our spirit, our soul card. It is that beyond us. So your physical body, your mind are all part of one thing, but you are bigger than that. And if you allow yourself to be guided by your own spirit, by your own self, by the self that you're even yet to know, there's something beautiful to be discovered. And one of the tools that I use for this is I literally will get people to take a mirror. I thought I had a mirror right by me. Take a mirror. And instead of like looking directly in the mirror or holding the mirror up, put the mirror on the ground. It's like looking into a lake or looking into water. Put the mirror on the ground and sit down, get down to your level, like get down to the ground, and then look into the mirror and see a new perspective. And now what do you see looking down, and without judging or criticizing yourself? What else are you seeing? That's, really look in at yourself from different views, from different perspectives. And you will see much more of you. See yourself as a spirit looking in on you, and looking at sometimes the ugly words we use to ourselves, or how unkind we are to ourselves, to see how mean we can be to ourselves. That's a healing in one of your beautiful goddess cards. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And so, because when we can see that, how disheartened our own soul, our own spirit essence, all of that versions of ourself outside of us is, at saying our soul's just like, sometimes you feel that knocking from inside. It's like knocking on heaven's door, but it's knocking on your human door and saying, excuse me, this angst, this feeling you have is me. It's a version of you that's inside of you. And it's even the younger versions of you saying, this is not right. And so the spirit card is actually wisdom of the elders. And this is Nugimi. And this is card number 12. And now this is not in the crone card, because it's not about the light. It's not about the big kahuna in here. It's not about the big mother energy. It's not about the big elder energy. It is about the little one right here. This one is still and powerful and knows its light. This one is looking into the light. And sometimes when we look into the light of when we look into the light of the big light, and it's like, oh, I just want, why can't I be this, or why can't I have that? And it's like, you have your own light, this little light of mine. And this little light has such a power, and it has such truth, and it's here to guide us through. And that we're always going to be small in comparison to the divine. And so when we want to be larger in life, we want to be bigger, we want to be seen, we want to be all of those things. The wisdom of the elder tells us, if we could just sit and see what and who we truly are, if we could see ourselves, we wouldn't want to be anything other than who and what we are. But the return to the essence of our authenticity, to find that sense of self, it goes right back to, and I'm going to repeat this, it's chasing. What are we chasing? And why are we so hypnotic to fears and insecurities? Why does it take so much work to get into believing in self and faith? But we're so hypnotic to fears, to insecurities, to the Chicken Little stories, and the world is falling, like everything is. What if there's something beautiful unfolding? What if there's something beautiful within ourselves? So if we exist in our own little light, and all of these little lights light up, then we become something bigger. So if we look at this big bang of the divine energy, and seeing this explosion, that the whole biggest secret, they say in the teachings, is the biggest secret is that the big light and explosion was that if we had given all of the divine light to one person would literally destroy themselves in a moment. It's too powerful. But when the light breaks apart, the little speck of God went into everyone, and that every being ends up with the little speck, a little piece of the same light that comes from the one light. And we all have that light, and it all exists. What overshadows our light? Why do we dull our light? Because we believe stories, and we get ourselves caught, and we're chasing something. It's like the dangling carrot, right? And so if we truly can see this essence within ourselves, we see this truth within ourselves, and that we can be inspired by this light, but also listen to the wisdom. And so when we speak about perspectives, we often will see where somebody is. We don't see the path they took to get there. And if we could see the path that they took to get there, and if we let ourselves see that path, and we may not want to be that person nearly as badly as maybe you thought you want it to be, because if you have to experience all that they've experienced to get there, you may not want to be going back and experiencing those things. But what if you walk your own path? What if you walk your own journey? And so it is about new journeys. It is about new paths. It is about so many things that are just coming up for us, that just says we have these opportunities right now. But it's it's your personal journey to take, and it's a personal one to walk. But your light is not off. The world hasn't ended, and there's a lot of beautiful things that are still available to us, but we can have these beautiful experiences while outside. There may be all of this dismantling and all this change, but what you do inside of you, who you are within you, it all begins with you, and it all starts with you. And it's, that you're never, it's almost impossible to have a real healthy relationship until you have a real healthy relationship with yourself. That includes your language that you use. So I'm just going to validate all of this. Hello, everyone who is joining in. And I'm coming down to the last card that's going to validate all of this for us. We have the soul connection, Vedoma. And so our spirit, our soul was just kind of giving us a little bit of crap here, saying, be aware of your light, be aware of your truth, be aware of what you're chasing. What if you're to become magnetic to all the good things when you let yourself be you? You being an imposter, you be having imposter syndrome within yourself, you being an imitation or a knockoff version of yourself cannot open the doors to your future ever. It cannot open the doors to what is for you. Only your authentic self, your truth, can really open up the doors to your divine destiny. You can have a lot of other lives, you can have a lot of other things, but it cannot open what is truly for you until you allow yourself to be you, to walk your own path. So our fourth card, which kind of concludes all of this, is our soul connection. So the most powerful, beautiful thing is right now to step into our soul connection. Step into that relationship with the self that you're yet to even know. And when I often hear people say, "Oh, I know who I am," I'm like, "Yeah, so did I yesterday." And it's not to chase a self. And a lot of self-healing, a lot of healing work and stuff is about always seeing yourself as broken, seeing yourself as not enough, seeing yourself, but it's like you are enough. You just got to step back into, and that's what more than existing is all about. It's about seeing that you were enough. You were more than enough. You have everything that you need. But what are you chasing? Who did you become? Whose thoughts are you thinking? And whose words are you speaking? Whose beliefs are you believing? Where did it come from? How much has been put into the system have you been living from? And it's about breaking up with the self and then really truly becoming an observer and looking at you from an essence of love and just saying, holy crap, what have I been doing? Why have I been so hard on myself? Why have I been having to really truly turn my own self into my own enemy? And working from a place of just knowing that, you know, there's a lot of beauty in me. There's a lot of goodness in me. There's a lot of light in me. There's a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of experience. There's a lot to be discovered. And I want to start discovering that. And I want to start bringing that to light. And so our soul connection is getting back into a relationship, coming home to self, and then building a strong foundation. And so Vedoma is here's her crystal ball. Here's herself, and here's her, her future is in how she truly starts to feel about herself. The feelings of what you start to, I remember feeling that way. I remember that wasn't right for me. I remember not wanting to do that. And how many times have I heard people say that I didn't really want to do that, but I did it anyway? Why'd you do it? Because I didn't want to let people down. I didn't want to disappoint people. And then, or if somebody says to you, oh, you're really good at that, that's what you should do. And then you turn your whole future into that, but you're really good at it, or you were good at it because it served a need and it was probably taking care of somebody else. So you're like really good at taking care of other people. So you should get into a career that you take care of other people. And when you get into it, it's because people told you're good at it. Just because you're good at it doesn't mean that's what you need to do. Just because I like it, just because I'm good at it, doesn't mean it's for me. What do I really want? What do I really need? Maybe I've been giving so much over here that maybe I want to do something where I don't have to be of service to everyone else. Maybe I want to do something that's of service to me now. That's where we start to really truly think about all the things in our lives that came from other people's thoughts. Your soul knows where your soul has been. You get one chance at being this human. And this is where we start to step into being able to begin to come to life in a new way, to bloom. And so that's what I have for you all today. That's the messages. Hope it resonates with you. Hope it connects with you. Thank you for being here. If you want to purchase my new cards, go to CorrieThorne.com. This is the Everyday Goddess Oracle. They are a little kick-ass. I love these cards. It's taken a few years to get these out and ready, and we're so proud of them. And Lisa says one of my faves. That was her comment from earlier. That was the Nugimi, and Lisa is the editor. And so we are very proud of those. And her daughter is Lisa. Her daughter Amelia is the artist who took my sketches, my crazy sketches, and she helped create it into such amazing pictures for the cards. Her artistry is amazing. And then you can also get a trio pack. So you can get my More Than Existing book looks different because it is different. It has been revised. So More Than Existing has been revised. You can get it on Amazon. If you're ordering, make sure it's coming directly from me, and it has this white on the top of it. And then my Truth of Existing Beyond the Reflection. If you want the trio pack, you have to order directly. You have to order directly from me for the trio pack, or else I can't put the special messages in them. And so yeah, you can get those there. And then the cards are only available on the website. Both books are available on Amazon if you only want one or the other of these. So that's what I got. We do have the Lionsgate activation class, the workshop, whatever you want to call it. That's coming up August the 7th, 8th. They're always magical. That's always me in my woo-woo. That's always me in my deep contemplation and my channeling. So if you want to join me in there, I would love to see you. Everything is on the website. There's an event page. Also, I think on the More Than Existing Academy page is probably on the Corrie Thorne one as well, but it's also on mteacademy.ca. There's a bunch of free stuff in there as well, but Lisa's got some some amazing human design stuff in there as well. And then in September, More Than Existing is starting again, and we cannot just say enough how much we love More Than Existing. So More Than Existing, the lightworker certification, self-actualization healing program, because it starts with you first. Level 1 is about you, about stepping into your light, stepping into your truth. And that one starts in September. So all the information you can also find out on the website as well. But also Lisa posted the event page today, and yeah, we're so excited. So it's 2 nights a week, and it's also both courses are, all these things are all recorded. So if you can't make it to live, and then you can also go onto my YouTube channel or onto the Academy. I got a sleep meditation and a new energy healing meditation that are on both on the Academy and on YouTube. And all of this week's messages are also, or the weekend message was still up. I'll have the newest message out to you tomorrow. Much love. Have a beautiful night, and I hope to see you all very soon. Thank you for being here tonight, for joining in and staying with me. Much love. And we'll be doing another trio with Michelle, Lisa, and myself coming up hopefully very soon. We'll get it arranged. We will post it though, so that you know when we're going to be doing that reading, that session, to do a bunch of readings again. Much love. Bye-bye. The sleep one is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda.